Good evening, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I'm going to get my camera framed up here. We're going to get started in a few minutes. It's just a bit before 6 right now. We'll get started at about 2 minutes after 6. But for props today, a belt or a yoga strap and a couple blocks would be good, and maybe a blanket or towel if you want for under your knees. But we're not going to use a chair today unless you would like to have a chair nearby. So we are going to be incorporating a little bit of balance in our flow tonight. So if you want a chair nearby to help you with your balance, then please have one available. Otherwise, you don't need a chair specifically. Just going to check on the lighting and all that while everyone's getting their props. And yeah, we'll get started in about 3 minutes. It says on my computer again that I'm unable to connect to the chat for some reason. Don't know why. But I don't know if that's the same for you guys on your end or not. I just saw the numbers went up, a couple more people jumped on. So for tonight's props, just a couple yoga blocks and a yoga strap if you have. If you like to have a chair for balance poses, you might want to have a chair nearby, because we are going to be incorporating some balance into our flow this evening. Oh, and the numbers just jumped back down. People decided they did not want to practice balance poses. We're going to get started here in just a minute. So if you are gathering your props, etc., a couple yoga blocks and a yoga strap. Option to have a chair if you like to, or you need to use a chair for balance. I'm just responding to a comment that I just saw on Facebook. So it said, do you mean Facebook Live? And I'm responding, nope, YouTube Live. So I might just wait one more minute in case that person is going to see that message that I just responded to and jump on. So I have it's 6:02 right now, so I'm going to wait until 6:03 or so to get started. So again, just in case anyone missed, 2 yoga blocks, a yoga strap. For those of you who like to use a chair for balancing poses, you can always have a chair nearby, but you don't specifically need one. I have seems to be lower numbers for these evening sessions, so I'm wondering if that's because the time isn't good for people, or if perhaps there's just, it gets to 6 o'clock and you're like, yeah, I don't really want to do yoga. But we'll see. All right, well, I'm going to go and have a seat on my mat, and then we'll get started with a little bit of centering and get this show on the road. So, coming to sit with a nice tall spine, however you feel most comfortable. Once you're seated comfortably, you can close your eyes or soften your gaze toward the floor in front of you. Starting to bring your awareness into your body. Noticing how your body feels this evening. Notice if you're holding on to any tension or muscle tightness in the body. Allowing your shoulders to relax down away from your ears. Unclenching your jaw. Softening the muscles around the face. Seeing if you can line your shoulders up over your hips, bringing your ears in line over your shoulders. Spine is tall. Shifting the focus to your breath. Feeling your breath move through the body. As you lie down, just take a few moments to let the body relax into the floor. Let's give the right knee a hug in toward the belly, in toward the chest. Pausing here. With your next exhale, let's stretch our left leg out along the floor, reaching out through that left heel a little bit. Reach for your yoga strap, looping the belt around the sole of your right foot. Let's stretch that foot up toward the ceiling, targeting that hamstring in the back of the right leg. Just breathing into that stretch. Still keeping that left leg activated as well. With your next exhale, bend your left knee, bring your left foot onto the floor. As you release the right foot from the belt, you're going to bend your right knee, Cross the right foot over so your outer right ankle comes to the top of your left thigh. We're setting up for thread the needle here. So you want to open through that right knee and hip. You can either keep the legs here if that's already enough of a stretch, or give those legs a hug, bringing the hands or your belt behind the left thigh. Making sure that right knee doesn't collapse inwards here. Keep it open. Deep belly breath. Exhaling to release, letting both feet come back down onto the floor, starting with the knees bent once again. Exhaling to hug your left knee in toward your belly. Exhale to stretch your right leg out along the floor, reaching out through that right heel, keeping that right leg activated. Loop the belt around the sole of that left foot and stretch that foot up to the ceiling. Few deep breaths here, breathing into that sensation. Every exhale, let the tension, the tightness in the muscles just melt away. As you exhale, bend your right knee. As you release the left foot from the belt, cross it over, outer ankle to the top of the right thigh. Open through that left knee and hip, maybe hugging the legs in toward you, hands or the belt behind the right thigh. Exhale to release. Uncross that left leg, bringing both feet onto the floor once again. Roll to your right side, bringing yourself up to a hands and knees position. Tabletop, maybe blanket under your knees. We will be here for a couple of poses, so if you'd like cushioning under the knees, please bring it there. Lining the wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. Starting with your neutral spine, preparing for cat and cow. Deep inhale to start. Exhale to round into cat spine as you press the spine up, looking back toward the thigh. Inhale to arch through the back, reaching the tailbone up, looking up, lifting up through the chest. Move with your breath at your pace. Inhale your spine back to a neutral position. From here, we're going to set up for balancing cat. So we're going to start by stretching our right leg back behind us. Toes are pointing down toward the floor. Those toes are lifted up, so your leg is in the same level as the rest of your body. So you don't want that leg to be too high. As you're ready and you feel balanced, you're going to stretch that left arm forward. Keeping your eyes toward the floor a few couple feet in front of you, just so the back of your neck stays long and soft. Engage the core, so hug the belly to the spine here. Keep breathing. One more breath. Exhale to take the hand and the knee back down. Pause. Other side. Stretch your left leg back. Reaching back through that heel. That leg is active. You want to actively stretch back. And then when you're ready, actively reach forward through that right hand. Keep breathing. Exhale, take the hand and the knee back down. Take those knees wide apart, slide your toes to touch together, get all the way back toward those heels, and fold forward, resting in a child's pose. Inhale, come back up to tabletop. Bring the knees back under the hips. Make sure the feet are hip distance apart. Getting ready for a downward dog. Walk the hands slightly ahead of the shoulders. Curl the toes under. Press up and back, downward dog. Inhale to walk your feet toward your hands. Bring your feet hip distance apart. A slight bend in the knees, letting the arms hang down or reaching for opposite elbows. Just resting in a ragdoll. Inhale to slowly uncurl. Coming all the way up to standing tall. You can clear the blanket off your mat if you have it there. Oh, my head is cut off a little bit. Let me move my mat back here. All right, so we're going to work with some standing poses in a bit of a flow. So we're going to work with some balance as well. So I'm going to do this sideways just so you can see everything hopefully fairly well from the side what I'm doing. So start in Tadasana and make sure you're standing toward the front or the top of your mat. Bringing those feet hip distance apart. Shoulders are stacked over the hips. Hips are over the ankles. And then as you exhale, you're going to pick up your right foot. Come up onto your right toes, rather. It's a better way to say that. Open your right knee out to the side for tree pose. So you have the option of keeping your toes on the floor or sliding your foot up to the inner calf or catching the ankle to place that foot on the inner thigh, your choice. Notice what's happening in those hips. You want those two hip bones to stay nice and level. Standing tall, shoulders are still stacked over the hips, belly's hugging toward the spine. As you inhale, let's sweep those arms all the way up. Shoulders are still relaxed, as is your face. Breathing in your tree pose. As you exhale, bring your hands down, and instead of stepping your right foot down, you're going to hug your right knee up and in towards the belly. So bringing the foot away from the leg, hugging the knee in. Keep the right hand on the right shin, stretch your left arm open, and open that right knee out to the side. You want to try and keep your right ankle and knee lined up. You can flex through your right foot and ankle. Inhale to bring that right leg to center, holding it now with your left hand. Keep the knee where it is, but stretch your right arm out, finding a little twist as the shoulders turn and open toward the right. Inhale, back to center. Stretch that foot forward a little like you're going to karate kick, and then take it all the way back into warrior three. So you're going to stretch your right leg back. Toes are still actively stretching down toward the floor, just like in our balancing cat, and your arms might stretch all the way forward. Your warrior three. Standing leg is straight. One more breath. And then we're going to step that right foot all the way back behind us. Bend deeply into your left knee. Inhale, sweep those arms up into warrior one. So plant your back heel. Make sure your hips are moving more toward the front edge of your mat. Your front knee and ankle are lined up. Shoulders are still relaxed. Keep breathing. Exhale, release the arms. Step your back foot in and pause for a breath. All right, my left leg was really telling me it was there on that one. So let's balance ourselves out with repeating that on the other side. So standing tall in Tadasana. Shift the weight into your right foot, come up on your left toes, open your bent left knee, and let's find our tree pose. So toes can stay on the floor. They can lift to the calf or to the thigh. Level out those hips, 2 hip bones in line, belly button hugging toward the spine. As you're ready, inhale, sweep those arms up. Feeling that rise up through the upper body as you root down through the lower body. This is my left balance side. So this will be a little extra challenging on this side. All right, let's bring that knee forward and up and toward the belly as you hug that left knee in. Keep the left hand on the left shin. Open your right arm. Open your left knee. Trying to keep the knee and ankle lined up. Whoops. Yoga teacher failed today, guys. My balance is not good. All right, inhale. Bring that knee forward. Right hand holds the shin. Left arm opens, opening the shoulders, the chest toward the left. Inhale to come back to center. Karate kick forward and then tip it all the way back really gracefully, like me, of course. Stretching that left leg back. Arms are reaching forward. I hope this isn't anyone's first time tuning into a live with me. They'll be wondering what kind of yoga teacher I am when I can't even find my own balance. All right, as you exhale, step that left foot back. Stretch your arms up and bend your right knee. Warrior one. That's all right. We just do our best here. That's all we can ask for. So if you are having a hard time balancing today as well, just let that go. You're here, you're moving, you're breathing. That's all you can ask for. Step your back foot forward. Pause. Take a breath. All right, take a deep breath in. Stretch your arms up. Exhale to fold forward. Bringing those hands down. As you inhale, slide the hands up to your shins or thighs. Lengthen the spine forward. Lift the chest. Look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, walk your feet back to downward facing dog. Stretch it all out. As you exhale, take your knees down to the mat. Knees wide, toes together. Let's sit back to our child pose for a little rest. Inhale, slowly roll up, coming all the way up. Take the legs out from underneath you. We're going to work with Navasana boat pose. So you can either do this without any props, or for those of you who enjoy doing this with a belt, you can also do your Navasana with a belt. So I'm going to start showing it with the belt, and then I'll drop the belt and just do it without any props, because that's the way I prefer to do it. But you're going to start with the knees bent, the feet on the floor, hip distance apart. And you want to start sitting nice and tall. So your chest is lifted, shoulders are back. If you're using the belt, you're going to hold on to the belt, one end in each hand. If you're not using a belt, you're going to have the hands behind the thighs. Everyone's going to stay tall through the spine and start to rock back, finding that sweet spot on the sitting bones, lifting your feet so your shins come parallel with the ceiling. Now it's important to keep your chest lifted here. If you're using a belt, I'm pulling on the belt with my hands and pushing the belt away from me with my feet. If we're not using our belt, our hands can be behind our thighs to start, but maybe we stretch our arms all the way forward. Breathe in your Navasana boat pose. Take one more deep breath here, and then exhale to release. Stretch out those legs. Give them a little wiggle. All right, seated forward fold. I'll turn to face you. You're going to bend your right knee, sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. You might want your belt, and if you do, you can loop it around the sole of your left foot. Sitting up nice and tall here, shoulders are relaxed. Deep inhale. Exhale, we're folding forward. You can walk the hands up the belt, using that belt as an extension of your arms, or if you can reach the foot, go for it. Just make sure you're not using your neck and your shoulders to really stretch forward there. You still want the movement to come from the hips. So my spine is still nice and long. My chest is still lifted. Keep breathing. Inhale, slowly rise up. And we will switch legs. So right leg comes out, left knee bends. Maybe looping the belt if you'd like to use it. Sitting nice and tall, deep inhale. Exhale to fold. As you inhale, slowly rise up and come to lie down on your back with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. Take a moment to let your body settle into the floor here. And then let's hug the knees in towards the belly. And find a nice gentle rock and roll side to side. Circle around the knees, massaging out your back. And then let those arms open wide onto the floor, shoulder height like the letter T. And as you exhale, let the knees drop over to the left side. Letting the knees come all the way down to the floor, or if you'd like, for any reason today, slide a support under the knees instead so the knees are a little higher up. That's just the left of a twist. With an inhale, bring those knees up to center and over to the other side. Inhale your knees to center, making your way into your final Shavasana. So letting those legs stretch out on the floor if that's comfortable. Otherwise, keep your knees bent, arms resting beside you. I was reading something yesterday about Shavasana, and it said that your Shavasana position should allow your body to completely rest. So you shouldn't have to put in any effort to be comfortable in whatever Shavasana you choose, and your Shavasana should remain completely symmetrical. And I thought that was really well put. So maybe think about that as you come into your Shavasana this evening. starting to wiggle your fingers and your toes to wake your body up. Bend your knees, bring your feet onto the floor. Making your way onto your side, you can use your arm as a pillow and rest there for a moment. And then press into your hands to bring yourself back into a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoyed the practice. As always, you can always send me an email and let me know. Namaste. I hope you are all staying healthy and well. I was actually thinking during this class, which, not being very present always, I guess, but I could do a class on Facebook Live. So if that's something you'd be interested, you can always let me know as well. I know someone had thought that's where this class was going to be this evening. So I could always try Facebook Live as well for a class maybe next week. So yes, I am so glad you were here tonight. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your evening. I will be back on live here on the YouTube channel on Thursday morning at 10:30 a.m. Otherwise, you can enjoy the pre-recorded videos that I have up on the channel. Thanks everybody. Stay healthy, and I will see you Thursday.